Any US bros in chat right now? I feel like the US has a problem because I have done too many of these streams in the last few weeks that are at honestly ungodly, godforsaken hours US time. And still there's like a bunch of people like Double X, shout out, 2 a.m. stream, let's go. Also Yoko Mohar, that are in here as well. So yeah. Hey, how's it going, Stefan? And Tim. Yeah. Like you giggles as well, who is awake at the early hour, and Moxan as well. Wow, Moxan, you got out of bed on time. I'm so proud of you. There is still hope for Euro Bros. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean it's 7 p.m. for me, so we're still somewhat close. Sock House. Good evening, John Wardner. Yeah. A plan for today's stream. I think I have a few things. Of course, we have to talk about the... I'm not going to go through the full playtest anymore, but we've gotten a lot of feedback. Probably to talk a little bit more about MMO98 and what we're doing next. And just otherwise, I have some fun, dumb stuff. That honestly, I was working on MMO98 earlier. That I hate Blender, is what this gets summarized into. So we're going to do a little bit of Blender stuff later on as well. But I think, yeah. Checking as well. Hey Marnix, long time. Congrats on getting married, my dude. Thank you very much, Philip Orikov. Yes, I need to get to Fed soon. I will still miss the stream. One day, Moxan, one day. So yeah. I think otherwise, yeah, people from Texas also should be asleep right now. But yeah, let's just drop in. Start with MMO98 perhaps. Take a look. I wanted to pull up maybe first, just to talk a little bit more about like the feedback. So we got a solid amount of feedback, I think. Oh, hey Mike 10. MMO98 looks great, probably the best game by far. Even better than Breachkeeper or the airport one. I mean, maybe. I'm very happy. Maybe that's the thing now, like we've had some time. Oh, my Unity just popped up. Give me a second. Me and William have had some time now to like kind of go through all of the feedback because like I said, there is a lot. Some of the feedback, shout out to The Good Hunter, it's kind of bad. Of just make game good. But yeah. I think a lot of the feedback, also from like MD and whatever, has already been implemented. So I think that's been good. I didn't get to write up some feedback. Yeah, but you played it. Oh, hi Lazy T as well. And we've gone through the entire list. And I think this is the first time, I would say, that we're doing a playtest for a game. We don't do them that much. And the general consensus is that we don't need to change anything about the core gameplay loop. Like, I remember, for example, Songs of Nevermade, and then also Guild Architect, were some games we did playtests for. We didn't do playtests for Unicycle Pizza Time. And both of them, we had like, oh, we need to go all the way back to the drawing board and then figure out, okay, this core gameplay loop is not good enough. We need to figure out something else. And that was definitely not the feedback here. I think the main points were 100% just onboarding is too fast. And then the like speed of the game, not the speed, there's like too much going on at the same time. I think those were the two main points of feedback that we had here. Hi Petit Pois as well. And that's like, you know, we can solve it. So after the stream, what we did, I think we can show all of this. Oh, these also had us feedback that our visuals need a lot of work, which is our... Oh yeah, that thing, that's a good one as well, where for like Songs of Everjade or Songs of Nevermade, and then what is it else? Guild Architect was indeed, yeah, the art style is not good enough. And here people like the art style. So that's good. Don't release it too soon and waste its potential. I don't know, Moxan, maybe. But we need money. That's the problem as well. I don't know when exactly it's gonna come out. It's gonna be like a month or two minimum, still think. But yeah, we have this whole thing of like, okay, what do we need to change? Can I make this? I'm just gonna... Actually, I don't think I can make this preview full screen. Can I drag it to a separate window? I can. Yes. So we made this markdown. You mentioned some issues with Blender. We're gonna get there in a bit. It's for later. I just want to go through this first. So yeah, the incremental versus tycoon. We definitely don't want to make this a management game. I think that was like one thing that we were both like, yeah, let's not do it. We're just going to dumb down the game because we don't want to like get the problem with overtime anomaly as well, where we're combining too many different genres, which leads to making a game that nobody really wants. So yeah, then like finding out how you can fail. You kind of can get soft locked by like, you get in like kind of like a dead spiral. That's like a problem that's like game design wise we need to think about it. And then we're gonna have like some milestones. And then the end goal, I think I messaged William earlier, is like make $1 billion or something is I think what it's gonna be. Just very simple, but we need something. Oh, the capsule art might be something I want to like kind of maybe try out later as well. This is just a very chill stream. There's not like a crazy big plan today. And then Clippy Assistant is another big piece of feedback that we got. This one, can I zoom in actually? Because it's a bit small. This one is 100% happening as well. Actually, I'm thinking maybe this is going to be easier to read. Okay, it's a bit too zoomed in though. But I can make this work. Let me resize it. Still too big. Oh, it's way too big. This. And then drag it like here, yeah. So Clippy Assistant, I have a plan. We're gonna go and talk about that plan later because that's the thing that I'm struggling with some Blender stuff with. And then yeah, we have just a whole list of like stuff that we need to implement now, which is William is very diligently doing right now. But yeah, I think overall we're in a pretty good state for the game, I would say. As for the Blender issues, maybe we should just jump into that one first. I want to have Clippy in this game. And the way that I'm planning on doing the Clippy is kind of the same thing as we do our game box, for example, which is we just have a simple camera that's like projected onto a game box that like only does like a specific layer. Very easy. So the idea is we need a mascot. So yesterday I took a look on itch.io for some like low poly style characters that we could use as mascots, and I think my favorite option was this one as like our Clippy like. A gnome that just is like gives you a wave and then gives you fun facts or something. I think we had a few other options, but I think this one, the gnome, just felt better. Because I don't think I want something humanoid. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to replace Clippy, we do not have the skills to make a custom model. Doesn't make sense. And I think the gnome is just the perfect amount of shitpost, whilst also being something that kind of corporately would have made sense. Thought it might have been opens game, gets gnomed. Yeah, I think this is like the perfect amount of like, this shit sucks. But like, you know, in an endearing way, basically. The problem is this is a GLB file. And it's like made for, I think Godot does GLB files, right? But basically, you do not have GLB support in Unity, so you have to convert it to FBX. The problem is if I take this GLB file and I throw this straight into like an FBX converter, the normals are fucked up. And I've been trying to work with it a bit more. Let me actually go back to my world because it's just the easiest thing to work with. If I just find like a place. Okay, here. I have this gnome, but I don't know if you can notice, like, if I put it in Blender, I'm actually not even sure what this is. Not in Blender. Yeah, there's a blend file. So that's what the thing. If I throw in the blend file, it has issues as well. I don't know why it has like this shading almost. Does this thing have even shadows enabled, honestly? I'm not sure. Do I just have to turn cast shadows off? Is that gonna be the solution? I'm actually not sure what it is. It's a bit of a miserable model. No, it doesn't seem to fix it. Yeah, so it's normals. That's the problem. But getting the normals to work, is it smooth shading causing it? Yeah, that's the thing. I want it to look like this. So this is I've already been working on this for a while. So this is actually the model turned into Mixamo. But honestly, I can just start over and I want to work this through with you guys because this is one of those things that makes me miserable to the core. So I have the blend file. I'm just actually going to pull up the blend file and we're gonna work from there on because indeed the normals were inverted as well earlier. So I have my gnome.blend. The second problem I have is that the default blend file, come on Blender, do a poll. I mean, so this is the default blend file for the gnome. There's some problems as well though in the animation. Wait, this is not the default blend file actually. I lied. Enjoy, William, because I've been working on this a little bit. So the problem is I'm just gonna download it again. So we're gonna start from 0. I'm gonna also maybe just drop the URL if people want to like try this out on their own, if they're like sick of me doing stuff. I think I downloaded it, right? Yeah, so now we have Gnome. There's a second problem. We'll get to that one in a second. Okay, so first problem, I need to go back into shading. And then I need to select the files because they were not included in the blend. I actually had to pull these files out of the GLB file that I then converted because they were not included. And then desktop, the eyes are 0, 1. Okay, so the problem as well is I want to animate this. And I think also if you look at like this hierarchy, it has like armature, and then inside of the armature, it has like hips. And then inside of this armature, it also has like roots, hip, or like body. I think body was the one. That Unity did not like this and throws like an error on trying to get the animation thing. So what I did, and I don't know if this is right, so tell me if I'm wrong, is I select all, I go into edit mode, and then I did Shift N, okay, recalculate normals, it said. I think Control and no, yeah. So I did Shift N, recalculate normals. You can't see it, like here. And there were problems with this. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. So what happened if I went to export, FBX, armature and mesh, pod mode, copy, include materials. Also scale needs to be 100. And I go to desktop. I'm just gonna call it Gnome. Is that T-pose? No. You trashed the smoothing groups? I did nothing, I feel. I'm not sure. This is just how it comes by default. Some of the mesh parts are inverted. How do you see that? Is my question as well. Help me, because I have no clue. Do you see it in like the shading? I'm using Blender 5, by the way. Because here it looks pretty okay to me. Also, if you want to tell me stuff, you need to give, you can enable back faces to be rendered in red. How do we do that? Viewport options in the top right. Because I have only these. There's nothing about like back faces. Or is it somewhere else? But to show overlays. Top right. How top right? There's too many top rights. Here, back face culling. Kind of 2 circles. I think the problem is also... Hi Evelyn as well, how's it going? I'll see, that's the... Oh. That disables my grid, I guess. There's a box called face orientation. I have to read. Just gonna... the English one. Where do I find this? Drop down. Oh, clicking that one. 2 circles overlapped. Oh, here. No. No, not here. In edit mode. Aha, okay, yeah. So in edit mode and then face orientation, I think it was. Yeah. Do we need something else? Still don't know what I'm looking for in terms of like how the one guy was like, yeah, it's supposed to turn red or blue if they're facing the wrong way. But nothing is. Is it like, okay. Weird, should be red blue. I have broken it already. They don't show blue anymore. So the faces are correct. Yeah. Okay. So let's export this and just throw this into Unity just to see the state we're at right now. We have some more stuff to do because there are problems. Inside of the mesh should be red though. Okay, so people are like, oh, this is fucked. Let's just give it a go and we'll work our way through it. So I take the gnome, put it in here. Okay, this is a very big boy. Let's put this to 100. Okay. He actually looks very good. He looks... Oh. I have one issue, I think. This will be a real game. Also, the gym sock house are pretty good here. Or like, at least the one I have. So this looks nice, I would say. 2 problems. One, his eyeballs. If I compare Blender, like you see how here the eyes are 2 individual eyeballs, and then in Unity, it's kind of stretched the 2 into like one giant eye, which is kind of annoying. Just pay some guy on Fiverr. That's what I was generally considering, but I was like, fuck it, this is entertaining content. This boosts engagement because everyone is yelling at me of what I should do. The second problem, if I go back to this, the FBX, is if I go to animation, like rig, copy from this model, roots. Oh, I have 2 roots. Oh no, I want humanoid. I need humanoid. Create from this model and then apply. It's gonna give an error because it has a root hip body and then it has root hip body body. And it has like a bunch of stuff. So I rage bait stream, nice content formula. So what I figured out from like trying out earlier, maybe this is wrong, guys, but I think this was working for me, is if I select all of these except the eyes, and I then do Control J, no, Alt J. How do I join again? So fucked in terms of my Blender join. Control J in object mode. So I could edit Control J. If object is not a selected mesh, wait. Oh, all of these, and then these. Why can I not Control J these? Is there a Cinti Gnome pack? High positive as well. Oh, here I can do join. Yeah. I think now if I exported the guy again, I can get the rig. I think so. Or I think actually there was still a problem. I think it was still fucked. So let's just do it again. We throw him in here. Let me get the FBX, the new one. Okay. And then if we now go to the FBX, I can go to humanoid, create, apply. And now there's no error. But I think if I look, I threw the animation controller on it. I think it was going to like, it was fucked, is I think what it came down to. So I think if I just play and I go here, it has a simple idle animation, the animator. It's to load. Yeah. So I have my idle animation here. Where's the gnome? The gnome is just gone. Oh. Yeah. It's not supposed to go up and down like this. This is the problem. Okay. So I kept cooking. I kept thinking. I'm just walking you through everything we've done today. So like, hey, actually, okay, it seems like the rig is fucked. Let me throw this in Mixamo. And I have a Mixamo version that works pretty okay, I would say. Like I did the Mixamo auto rigging. And I can like give it an idle animation. And this worked pretty good. Like, you know, this is what I want, but once again, it looks kind of fucked. Can I turn him around? Skeleton view, pan, zoom, reset camera, whatever. Once again, we have like the eye problem. So what I did then was I downloaded it. I'll just download it again. Because I'm like, okay, perfect. This one has the avatar. And I just do with skin. And then I can just add, like, throw the animator controller on top of it. Okay. So once again, this looks good. Right? Good morning, by the way, Oktara. So then, if we go back to our Unity, and I just throw this one in here. Go back to the gnome. And then it's called idle. I think we need to size them to 100. Now the normals are fucked again. Whilst in the Mixamo, once again, they looked perfect. So, okay. Then the question is... this was the point that I was at when I basically said, ah, fuck this. This isn't worth it. It's like, okay, do I try to fix this rig? Which I think I'm... in Mixamo, it was visibly fucked as well. I don't think so. Oh, was it fucked? Or was it just the angle? Why can I not play this? Check if Mixamo applied. I think in Mixamo it looks pretty good. Like there's no backface issues. This looks good to me. Like the lighting is just a little bit weird. But like you can see everything has right normals. Nah, it looks mixed up in Mixamo. I think it's just like the eyes and that's it. But not like you see, like I have no face here. The head, for example. Yeah, it's rendered with double-sided facing or no culling, indeed. So yeah. So then, my next thought, and I think this was where I was like, fuck it, it's not worth it anymore, is I opened... no. I think what I did, I'm just going to save this for now. We're going to start Blender again. And I threw the FBX in Blender, and then I recalculated the normals as well. Okay, so I deleted these. Then I went to downloads, and then I took my idle. I don't know if this is the right way to do things, okay? I think I kept everything. And then I just did import. I think I'm gonna do it again, but with the scale correct. So I'm gonna put the scale to 100. Import FBX. Because this looks like a decent rig. So at 10 is once again, I selected everything and then Shift N, recalculate normals, and then perfect. We export this to FBX. I think there's no materials included in here, but it should be fine. And I called it Gnome NM. Make somehow got face flipped. I don't know. So let's just get rid of our gnome again. And then also let's get rid of idle for now. So then we had the gnome, that's basically like the Mixamo one with backface culling. And then it's like, okay, this looks somewhat better. I think the main problem that I have now is that the materials for the body, wait, I think I can actually, was there like a way? Correct materials. New folder. Materials. Select folder. Save. I can then turn the snoozes off. Okay. This is like 90% there. But now suddenly, like here the hands are fucked. And once again we have the shadow issue. And I don't know. This was the point where I'm like, I really don't know. Like also here, once again, the normals are like partially fucked. Even though I just recalculated them. This gnome is ultra processed at this point. Yeah. So now I'm at like that point of, do I just flip the normals of only those two faces? Other run back face culling on the camera? Yeah, but once again, face orientation just doesn't show anything for me. Why does it not? Let me actually look up. Blender face orientation. Not working. Trying to change it in the top area. It should work. Edit preferences, theme. Preferences. Themes. 3D viewport. Face orientation. Get font. I'm gonna make this a lot more blue. This one is pretty red. Still does not seem to... Oh, I need to enable it. Okay. We got it working. So now we can see which parts of the back face are bad. Miserable. I guess now we can select it. Where is it? Which is the broken one? This one is broken. Why does it rotate it? And then I can do shift and recalculate normals and nothing happens. So, how do we make this correct? Do I just do individual pieces? Because that also doesn't do it. Select faces and then mesh. Okay, so it seems like that may be the solution. Okay, so now this piece is done. So I feel like this is a very... Like maybe this is just me, but can I not just join those meshes? Oh well. I think we have all of them. Right, at the resolution you see this, none of these issues will be visible. I still want to see that you can see the arm. I think that's my one thing. I want to know how to do this. Okay. It's so fucked. I want to make sure that this butt, good detail. Because I think it's just something that maybe we should do. Because once again, I'm also learning stuff. I did not know about any of these things. Up until, well, now basically. Why is this one ear fucked? Lip. Okay, that's a shortcut. This makes my life easier. The solution, the easy solution would just be to switch to Godot, and then I can use the GLB file. Unfortunately, we are not switching to Godot in this stream. I'm sorry for all the Godot bros who watch this. But I think this is Alt-N flip. Better option for now. Alt-N flip. Okay. We still have some issues. Hey, Goosey, how's it going as well? Is there a Bite Me Games Discord server, dear Tef? Yes, there is. Exclamation mark Discord, and you can join it. I'm gonna catch up on chat for 1 second, actually, because I've been too zoned in on this to ignore you all. Yeah, okay. If I understand, also Ulis Bula, if I understand correctly, you moved to Japan. How about your friend in the tier list video? Did he also move? He stayed. How do you manage the time zone difference? It's actually not much of a problem, the time zone. Oh, Philip Orekov, Marix, I'm busy fixing on my end. I think it will help if you open both files and compare. We'll post in Discord. Okay, maybe, yeah. Also, Mr. Denji, hello, following the channel for a while. If you select all objects and go to edit mode, then select all faces, press F3 and type recalculate outside. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Wait, I'm gonna save this first, just in case. I'm gonna call this just Gnome. Save. Just woke up preparing to continue work on my project, as one should. So. Select everything, edit mode, select all objects, press all faces, press F3 and type recalculate outside. Yeah, then the problem reoccurs. So maybe it's just like actually related to the way the model is created, wherein it thinks that these things are outside. Can I undo this now? Okay. So I think this is just gonna have to be a case of like, I need to actually still go through this somewhat manually in order to fix this. Even though it's kind of miserable. Sorry, thought it could help. No worries. I did not know you could do that as well. So we're still learning a little bit extra each time. It's like, you know, if it's a one-time thing, it's still a free HLIO asset at the end of the day. So it's like, how much can we complain? Not that much. If it's like, okay, I pay money for this, yeah, I would be annoyed, but I'm so not used to the Blender navigation. I try to use like my Unity shortcuts. Okay. So now do we have any other big glaring issues? I fixed the ear. I don't know what this even is. Is it the eye? Oh, but it's so miserable to work on it. I think it should be fine for now. Let's just export this once again. Let's try again. I don't want mesh and armature. Export FBX. Low poly is a perfect place to start. Yeah. Might be good to rebind things. I don't know. Can you rebind this to like the Unity like controls? I'm not sure. Okay, so once again we delete the gnome. You're gonna get gnomed. Throw him in here. I think I need to once again. I'm just gonna do the materials again because I can't reuse it. It seems like the normals are better, at least. I'd only have like an issue with the eyeballs, I feel, but I think that's something that indeed, like Sockhouse says, is so small you may not know as much. Extract materials. Yeah. Just turn this down. And it like looks okay, I would say. So then let's just do an animator. Or I think I can just throw it on. Wait. Did I not have an avatar? I had an, oh no, I still need to import it. That's why. Rig, humanoid, create from this model. Yes, okay. Didn't I just add the avatar? Yeah, gnome and avatar. And gnome animation. Didn't you do some of the 3D art for Forge Industry? Have you touched Blender since then? Nope, I have not. Because I realized after like 2 months, we're not doing this. Perfect. We have our little Nomi bear. And it looks pretty okay. I think especially if we like look at this through the camera. The main worry that I have now is if I need to make it look good with the shading. So let's make a new 3D object that's just create empty. It's like gnome preview. We're gonna put the gnome in here. Just gonna move him somewhere into the sky. Create a camera. Call it a gnome cam. Should have maybe have not done. I have no idea where my gnome is now. I'm just gonna move both. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Where's my gnome? Why are they so far away? Why is it there? 0, 0, 0. Yeah. So the camera here. Around. Use the FOV. Then create a render texture. Gnome text, Gnome RT. Take the camera, gnome cam. Output to the render texture. Building mask. We need to make a new layer. Only show the gnome. Then, why do I do the opacity one again? Initialized. Let's check what I did here with the other camera. Solid color, black with 0 transparency. Okay. I think then you want shadows for the gnome? Could always go flat shading. I don't want them. I just don't know how you can get rid of it exactly. That's more of the problem. But we're making progress somewhat, I think. I'm just going to create a new, get an image actually. Call it I had a name for it. Thanks, by the way, for the follow, IKZ1. Like, Knorman? Oh, I was gonna call him Norman. Knorman. Knorman. Yeah. Make this 400 wide by 800 tall. Because this is going to be the actual space that Clippy would be taking up. Here. Image. No. UI. Raw image. Gnome render texture. Why can I not see the render texture? Oh, it's all dark. All dark. Don't know why. This to the side. Is there a swap backface option? I don't think in Unity. Hi man, it's so scary how big and complicated it is creating games. Yeah. I feel like I saw the gnome earlier if I had the skybox. Still no gnome. Why is my render texture empty? In frame, right? Yeah. Because of the culling mask, it will do nothing. I think that may be the issue. So I want to cull everything except the gnome. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, now we have our little gnome here. So now we just make this smaller, pull it closer, and the render texture should be 350 by 350, I think. How does he look so fat now? It's Norman raw image. Let's make this 400 by 400. Perfect. I don't know why he's so squished, but okay. This is actually a perfect space because there's nothing in here right now. First sitting on PSX styles and going full web core. I don't know. So now we should have an idle gnome. This is... wait, this one. This is perfect. We have our little gnome now. I think the gnome is the right move. Right now we can very much still see the shading on the hands. I think that is the big issue that is not really resolved yet. I think this is an absolute W in terms of improving the game. I think we just need to... like, I'm just gonna like move him a little bit. It's so funny. We just have him like, you know, appear at certain points. I don't get the connection. So a piece of feedback that we got was that there was too much like information at the start. Yeah, is the Gnome your Knippy? That is exactly it. We need something that's like cute, that you can kind of hate, but that is like the helpful little helper. So the idea is that this guy is going to pop up, and then I'm not gonna do it in game because I want to save it actually. If I go back to my Norman, to 2D view raw image here, is that there is an actual second thing that's like the help box in this kind of like yellowish lippy images. Color. Let's check what's this color. It's kind of ugly, but then basically have this lad, he goes over underneath, and then this would give like the actual text thing basically. Now like in here would be your tutorial text, and the gnome can do like funny little animations and then do like waves. I think, where did you put it, Philip? Here, the gnome edit.blend. Oh, you're supervisi. I see. So, open this in Blender. I think the gnome is gonna be once again a great addition to the game. I think this is definitely the best one. Okay, so this is the one you created, supervisi. Do we just well, it's in the T pose and everything. Do we just go and export as FBX? Sure, I'm just gonna do everything. Sure. Desktop. I'm gonna call it Gnome Edit. Sure. How does this look? Hey, Mauri as well. The stream is going pretty good, I would say. People like the gnome. I like the gnome as well. I'm gonna text William once we implement this of like check gnome, because I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so here's our gnome. Let's get out of 2D modes. Desktop. Boy. Well, we give this humanoid, create from this model. It has a warning. So I don't know it's gonna be actually animated. I'm scared. I'm just gonna run it now because I think it's not gonna... Is this Skyrim music? No wonder I'm so chilled out. Yes, it is. So let's just start. Oh no, okay. Even though it has a warning, it seems to be good. And it's also animated. So I just need to give it some materials. Gnome anim materials. There's no material included, it seems. Okay, I can just drag it on. It should be an easy fix. Did you fix the eyes? Oh, you even fixed the eye. No, you didn't fix the eyes. Oh well. Using the rig that came with the blend file. Okay, but it's working. So we put him in here as well. 0, 0, 0. Disable this one for now. Please. The gnome layer. Let's change children. Yeah, this one seems to have way less bad shading. I'm actually going to create a light as well. Spotlight. Just to make sure that everything is well lit. I don't know if this is actually good or not. Oh, why is my render texture doesn't seem to be holding in the gnome anymore? Why are we not seeing the gnome? Should still be in range. Culling mask, everything except the gnome. Do I even need the culling mask, honestly? Can I just do nothing? I have no gnome. Why do I not have a gnome? Everything. That's why. I flipped it. Wait, now it's like this. Okay. Okay, spotlight. This one can go down a bit. If I put it at 0, I think it actually needs a bottom light. Because I have a directional light from the top. Just a little bit. This is too much. This is like, it's like on fire. But just to kind of take out some of the harshness. And then let me text William. I'm just gonna send him a video otherwise. I think that may be less intrusive. Play. Awesome studio. Why is he rotated? Send this to him. He's gonna love it. I know it. Music. Because I think he's not here. He should be hard at work. But we can record a quick clip of the gnome and get his reaction. Okay. Done. Direct messages to William. And the game is saved. Okay, let's see what he responds later on. But yeah, the idea would be then, like, if you hover over him, you can maybe like click it away as well. Hey Peter, how's it going? Hey, nice. This your idler? This is indeed my idler incremental. It's still in a bit of an identity crisis, but we have a gnome, which is all you need. The gnome animation is too high of a frame rate. I think what we would do actually, regardless, I'm not sure how you do it, but I know William did it. Is add Clippy. This is our Clippy, Peter. We're adding our Clippy right now. It's gonna be Nathan or Norman. Gnorman is the current name. Get gnomed. He woke up and joined. Hi, William. I think what we generally want to do as well is just reduce the frame rate. I'm actually not sure how you do that. You did it somehow off the camera to be like 30 FPS or like 24 FPS or like even 15 FPS, because Clippy is like very old school style. Just joined where waifu. What do you mean this is not your waifu? This is what we need, MD. We need nothing else. You can clearly see the waifu on screen. Give me 1 second also, Super VZ. We need to get you something for your troubles. Yeah, the computer needs to halt to 2 FPS. Actually, I should not show this. How do I do this again? My browser is starting to suffer. Second. I want to send you some Patreon your way. Just thinking how it did it again. Promotions. Here. Gifts. Can I not create a gift anymore? Did they remove that function? Oh no, here, add. Okay, I'm gonna send you a link. I should not send the link on Discord, or like not on stream. But if you check that link, it should work. But yeah, thank you very much, because this was one of those things that like I could be spending another 3 hours on it, and it's just like not worth it for me to do that. And now we just have a little gnome. Probably I'll do more of the UI stuff later on, but I'm just happy we got the model to work. That was the hardest part. Doing the actual animation, God forsake, I've made a actual like my virtual friend before. Okay, did the link work? Because it is indeed like the first person to click it can claim it. So I just want to make sure that you did it. That should be it. Okay. Yeah, because we want to let it do some other stuff that we did that's actually, I think, broken. Now is that like the chat, and I was gonna have tabs. William will implement this. Thank you very much, William. And then we have a bunch of other feedback points that we want to do. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure why the gnome like changes the direction of the animation, but that should be done. The gnome is going to be just for the tutorial, for the entire game. It's gonna be for the entire game because we want to make it useless as well. So we want it to actually be like Clippy, and I don't want Clip Studio, and just give like dumb here, like this style of thing of like, I see you're trying to focus on something without interruption, can I help? Oh, I'm not sharing my right screen. This kind of stuff of like, have you tried making more money or something like that, like even just dumb stuff as well. Oh, Ultramarine Bicycle, we fixed the problem just now. Thanks, by the way, Gulmohar, for having tuned in. Yeah, to become rich, you need money. So that's kind of the stuff indeed that we want to do with it. Not just like we'll be inspired by this. This will be part of the UI. But otherwise, I want stuff. This is indeed extremely clerp. This is so cursed. But yeah, the choice was to take an actual 3D model because I think we have a good amount of like animations that can work with this, and then especially if we just like crunch this down, because I think like now 350 by 350. What if we do like 250 by 250? Actually, don't see much difference. What if we do 128 by 128? Like now it is very much more pixelated. Maybe I think this is a little bit too pixelated, but I think we can definitely play. What a bad day to have eyes. I'm not touching the animation side of it. That's you. Yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna prepare the animations for you, William, and then I'm gonna tell you like, oh, I want you to implement this specific thing. Yeah, I think that was a good easy W already. Is the gnome 3D? Yes, so it's a 3D gnome. Because I don't know if Clippy is actually 2D or 3D. I think it's gonna be... Because this is like the old school style of like... I don't think 3D rendering was possible back then. So it's like you take the 3D model and then they like exported PNGs or something of it. Like bitmap images maybe even back then. But for us, we can do like a lot of animations. Like another idea we had is that we just have him track the mouse at certain points. So he's just like looking with his eyes towards like where your thing is. Yeah, Clippy is pre-rendered 2D, so we're not doing that. We're using modern technology, 100%. I think still a good win. So yeah, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit more because this is too low. Let's do 200 by 200. Clippy got pregnant, man. Internet was a mistake. Aren't you glad you joined Bite Me Games for this content? How long did this game take to develop, by the way? So I can show you. If we go to our Git history, the first commit was now 28 days ago. 4 weeks. I think it's been a good rate. Can we click him to get interactions with him? Or he annoyingly stands in the way and you have to push him? Did you make a Steam page yet to join the PC Interfaceless OS Simulator Fest? It is in approval, but I don't know if it's going to be on time because the Fest submission deadline is the 7th. I submitted the Steam store page this morning. I think it's going to be very close. I was thinking of reaching out and be like, hey, can you do add a few days of I already have my app ID. I'm just waiting for the approval and then throw in from there. So yeah. So I think it's been a very unique blend of when me and William started working on this game. We're like, oh, we're going to make this in a week. And then we're going to do the first scrappy playtest. And then every week we were like, oh yeah, next week we're going to do the playtest. Where it was kind of getting scary of oh no, is it taking too long? Is this going to take too much? And are we once again going to have to end up canceling this game? I have a very important change to do. Move the game object. I'm still going to change it. Don't worry, William. Where I think the first few weeks there was not enough playable yet. We needed a lot of time to get the system set up. But then now, when we've actually done the playtest, I'm like, okay, but we actually have a lot of the game is there already at the end of the day. So it's I think we still had a lot of work done in a month. I think our initial idea of, oh, we're gonna make a playtestable version that's very rough in a week was not fast enough. Don't you want to let it cook a bit, gather some wish lists and submit to the next Steam Fest? You mean the one in February? This game is not coming out yet. Or the one in June. I think, yeah, we're gonna work on this longer. Even though the playtest went okay, we still have a lot of stuff to do. There's no late game progression or anything like that. We need a way bigger skill tree. But I think the work we've done so far has been pretty good. The one in June, you're not the first person to say it. I think it once again comes down to financials. Of I don't know if we can keep the studio. Because next Fest in June would mean releasing, ideally, end of... Because you have the Steam Summer Sale as well. Oh, Steam events. Yeah, so the Steam Summer Sale starts June 25th. And then the February Next Fest... the June Next Fest ends the 22nd. Releasing during a summer sale is madness. We're not big enough to do that. So everyone is going to try to release their game between the 22nd and the 25th, which is 3 days. That's stupidly impossible. So okay, earliest release then is July 9th or something. And then release in July. Yeah. But the release in July means first Steam paycheck hits end of August. And that's a very long amount of time that we need to bridge then between where we are now and then where we get there. And I also don't think we have that much things we can do on it for 6 months. There's no way we're working on this that much either. So I'm not sure, but I think it's just from an actual realistic perspective, it may be too late. It's the same thing with Unicycle Pizza Time of could we have spent... Can you prepare other games? Yeah, but it's not about letting it cook and preparing other games. It's letting it cook, preparing other games, and then making sure that we can still eat every month as well. Morally bad choice would be to upload the current broken build just to join Next Fest. Yeah, I mean, Next Fest is still 3 weeks from now. February 23rd. I think we can do it. If you see it where the game has come from in 3 weeks from zero, I think we can have a good build by the next fest. The problem is we would go into the next fest with a build that hasn't been live and existing for that long. I think that's the bigger problem. don't you get the most out of Next Fest by going into it with more wishlists already? Yeah, once again, you do. But it needs to, like, make enough sense to survive long enough. That's the problem. And right now, the numbers are not going that great also on, like, surviving long enough. So, yeah. Enjoy work, Gonzalo. Yeah. You're kind of stuck in a hard place. Yeah, because, like, also, like, the YouTube... We've been doing the 2 videos a month now, right? And the graph is pretty good, honestly. I was looking at this earlier. If you look at, like, the views, last 90 days, you can see this is where we decided to start uploading twice a week. And views have gone up massively compared to, like, way before. But, like, for example, revenue, if we go and look at, like, last 28 days, has not really improved, like, much. It's still, like, 300 euros a month. That's not enough. And then also, like, our Patreon is, I think, pretty okay as well. But, like, also not, once again, enough. So if we, like, pull up the Bite Me Games, it's like, okay, yeah. If I go to, let's go 3 months or 6 months, it's like we're still down from where we used to be. So yellow is paid members. So, like, yeah, our earnings per month is, like, not ideal. And then our Steam sales stats. I think MD's Embrace the Slop is more in, like, an ironic sense. And then here are Steam sales during most recent 31 days. Is about 1,200 gross. If we combine those numbers, we are burning money every single month right now. And I think we're burning enough that we need to release this game after the next Fest. So the one in June, July, and then getting paid out in August 1st. Because I think that is just not... like, maybe we could sustain it. But it would be... I think it would be too close for comfort. Is what it comes down to. So, yeah. You can do decent in Next Fest without that high of wishlist. Yeah, because it's also like, it's not like a suggested 100%. And that's kind of the moral problem that I have. Like, okay, we can join it, the Next Fest, without problem. There's an article I'm gonna look for. I think this one. Of, like, the advice is indeed go in with wishlists. And it's like, is it wrong for me now to not do it? Here. First demo launch date of Desktop Defender was 2 hours before the start of Steam Next Fest. And it had, like, almost no following. And then they got 20,000 wishlists from the Steam Next Fest. I don't think we're going to get 20,000 wishlists. But it's like, I know. This game did everything I told you not to do. Demo launching just before Steam Next Fest. 0 wishlists before. They even have pixel art capture with alt text on it. They beat the odds and they deserve to be commended. So yeah, I don't know exactly. So yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of an outlier indeed. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, this is an outlier. But I think it's still the better move if we can to participate in the Next Fest in February. Because I think I'm pretty confident we can have, especially just demo-wise, I think we can have a good experience. Oh yeah, someone also, I'm not sure you can register for the February Fest. I believe the registration was closed in January. So, the thing we did, we had a Steam credit from another game that didn't get made, that was already registered. But we never did anything. We never uploaded anything to it. So this is the MMO98 app credit. And as you can see here, Steam Next Fest February is opted in. Because, wait, I think I can go through it from the dashboard still. Game release, this should not, oh, the demo. Okay, yeah, demo is fine. Did the demo get approved? No, yeah, demo build is still in review queue. This used to be another game, basically. So yeah, we can join the Next Fest kind of by, not coincidence maybe, but like by having shifted our plans and then actually having another game, and then we just like renamed everything and started store page from zero. Thanks by the way also for the follow, Elijor. So yeah. Okay, so you don't need to have your Steam page public. If you want to appeal, that's a different thing. Okay. I have another store page. For example, let's say Kowloon 0. Is that allowed? I'm pretty sure that one is. So yeah. Oh, so we can register for the one in June and October. But yeah, opt-in submission deadline has passed. There is a way you can still appeal. But you need to have your store page live to appeal to submit in the Steam Next Fest, I think. Is this the time you used the $100 pork I donated to show the setup process? Unfortunately, I'm sorry, QC, there's still no dedicated video out there. I'm thinking to just split it up. Instead of like one giant video, I'm just gonna make like 10 smaller videos of also like how to do bundles and all of that. Basically. So yeah, I don't know the exact magic number that we need, Ekusi, but like, it's still far, is the thing, basically. I've paused my game to do a plugin for Fab instead. Do you have any assets out on Fab? We have our assets. I don't think we've ever sold any though. We have our 2D pixel art assets. Am I logged in? I don't think I am. If I just look up, can I look up Bite Me Games? No. Chinese pixel. And I can't even, here. To the Asian Garden tile set. We have this one. Why is this mature? Huh? Okay, well, apparently this one. We have some assets on Fab. I think we've sold 0 copies on Fab. Most of our sales come from Israel. So I think on Fab, if you're making like specific things for Unreal, it can work. Don't do pixel art on Fab. That one doesn't work. When the demo gonna be live? Probably pretty like a week before, like 2 or 3 weeks from now. I think it's still gonna be a little bit of time because we know what we need to do. We need to do a bunch of stuff still. But at least like we have a built-in review queue. I just hope, because I know a lot of developers have had their review queue for like 9-10 days. I hope we can get the demo approved on time. Oh, you are that William? He's that William. Yeah, he's my ride or die boy. Can I use Fab if I use Godot? It's gonna be kind of miserable. Yeah. Is selling Unreal plugins a thing on itch? Not at all. Do you email influencers before demo live? I'm gonna do it, but once again, it's gonna be like... It's not going to be as good as I want it to be, is the problem. How long is the planned playtime length of the demo gonna be? I think like 30 to 60 minutes, something like that. Curious I don't get validation on itch first. We kind of did it, Matt Cole. I mean, we're gonna throw it on itch.io and things like that as well. We had the playtest yesterday. No, 2 days ago as well. And there generally was a pretty good approval already. We know that the game will do okay, I think is what it comes down to. Although we had some issues now. But I think we do have some certain level of confidence in that this is going to be okay. We still want to use itch and like a bunch of the other platforms and still do the marketing. The problem is it's going to be miserably... Yeah, I got an automated email from Celerity that he already has 2 emails for next Fest today. I think so as well. I think it's gonna be fucked to a certain degree. But I think the alternative is not joining Steam Next Fest. And I think that's also not really an ideal approach. It's just like shitty timing is what it comes down to. That's the problem with the Steam Next Fest. You're always kind of tied into this certain schedule that if you're spending a year of development, it really doesn't matter. But if you're trying to do like this kind of stuff more last minute, you're absolutely fucked sometimes. February is gonna be packed. Yeah. Are there any other fests you can join anytime soon? There actually is. I should look it up again. Someone tagged me in it here. Fake OS games / interface sims. April 27th to May 4th. The deadline is February 7th. So the problem is right now our Steam store page okay, we can join this. Perfect. Let's join. Okay, let's fill this thing in. Your name, Marnix. Game name, MMO 90. Oh, company, Python. Games, game name, MMO 98. Steam app ID is. Let's take a look. MMO 98 was a viewer game. What advice would you give him on onboarding? The onboarding experience is not good enough. It's too overwhelming. You're gonna lose too many players. The moment someone like tries to join, they're immediately gonna be turned off. I think that would be my main feedback points to myself. Game will launch. Game will have a demo to play. We will contribute video footage. This is end of April to early May. I think we can do both. Any other comments, suggestions, or questions? So retro archaeology is, I guess, the right one. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or suggestions? I don't really think so. Oh, how does your game fit into the fake OS interface sim genre? Game taking place. It's styled entirely around Windows 98 aesthetic. Gonna back in the codes, get gnomed. Yeah, enjoy the code mines. Do you think 10-15 minutes is too short for a horror game? I think you want to do at least 15 minutes. 15-20. I think 10 would be too short. I think 15 is the minimum that I would do. In this case. Just a few sentences / bullet points are fine. This. All gameplay is done through. Aesthetic, perfect. Any other comments or suggestions? I don't know if I should comment that I'm from Bite Me Games. I feel like on the one hand it doesn't really matter. We're filling out this Steam event for fake OS games / interface sims. New page. Weeks. About event as well. Over 50k subs on feel like such an ass for saying this. Like pulling in my subscriber count, but oh well. I'll just make sure YouTube comes by me games. We should be fine. Oh, I need to fill this in. I mean, it's technically not something you can't find, but it just feels weird to fill this thing in on stream. It's not like my email address is honestly hard to guess either. Oh well, we have submitted. Biden releasing a new incremental game every month. Road to 1 million. I was thinking about this though. Dear Festival, I am big YouTuber, will probably do content, send keys please. That's not really what I mean here. I did it for Bit Summit as well. Bit Summit, I'm like, I really want to get selected to showcase at Bit Summit. So I'm like, here's the vlog I made last year. Here's my YouTube channel. Please, for the love of God, accept my store page submission. Finally caught up by watching a 2x high winner joiner. I must be very slow now. What's Fake OS? Fake OS is games that have like a fake operating system as like in their game. So it would be something like this, or Military Incremental Company Complex, where it's like also like Windows 98 style, or what's it called? Sondering Emily. Yeah, I got the URL right. Here, Lily's World XD. I think this is also a fake operating system simulator, yeah. So basically, anything where you have like something in the game that contains like a fake operating system. I guess is what it comes down to. Emily is away. But yeah, this also looks... Yeah, where it's like Windows 98 like. So yeah, these are fake OSs basically. It's not a real Windows system, but it looks kind of like it. Plus anything Linux. I don't know how many Linux submissions there are. But yeah, I think we're still in a decent place overall. Have you guys thought about making Friendslop games? We have. I mean, we've made Friendslop before even. Just not right now that we're working on it. So yeah. I think overall, that's been pretty okay. Fixed the Gnome. Is there anything else we want to do today? I'm not 100% sure where we want to go next. Do I have other stuff? Oh, let's take a look again. I actually didn't look at the Steam events. Oh, I can go to the better one. Upcoming Steam events here. Oh yeah, I think the Hidden Object Fest I appealed already. Yeah. So both of my Anomaly games I've appealed for, but it takes like a while. Because games where something wrong the players need to identify are eligible. For example, horror games where players have to spot what's wrong in the scene, which is Overtime Anomaly, Kyoto Anomaly, and then Pripyat Zero. So I submitted all three of those for like the appeals. I'm pretty confident that should be allowed. Actually, I think, yeah, you can still... Oh yeah, here, registered games, MMO98. And then here at the bottom, you can be like, hey, you can still appeal to include a game, but yeah, your store page must be set public in order to use the appeal process. So that's the one catch. I didn't know Anomaly games fit in Hidden Objects games. I also didn't, but I read it and I like saw the technicality. I'm like, okay, they clearly like called this out, maybe to make it more interesting of a festival, and they took it. I think otherwise, Deck Builders, Ocean Fest, Bullet Fest, Social Deduction, Train Fest, none of these really fit what we're doing, only like the Screamfest, I think we're already going to be registered, yeah, for Kyoto Anomaly and Overtime Anomaly, and then Pripyat Zero is going to be in there as well. Just like our horror games, basically, and that's it. I think that's going to be it. Is there a drawback putting a store page live early? Like, you're not going to get punished, but it's just like... It's just useless, I think, is the biggest problem. Like, yeah. That's like my main thing that I don't like about it, basically. Yeah, it's not a drawback, but a loss of potential. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. But yeah, I am happy that we did get MMO98, hopefully in the next fest. And we'll see then. We had 5 original. We end up with 1, but honestly, I'm already going to be happy with 1, because I think what MMO98 also has given me is that this is kind of the first time in a long time that we've had a W in terms of game dev. Where, like, for the longest time now, our YouTube channel also. Let me pull it up. I need to release games to make meaningful content. And if we don't release games, it's a lot harder for me to create meaningful content. So yeah, Kyoto Anomaly trailer. But then, like, how many of these videos have been about our games? How much our horror game earned? This was directly about our game. Thanks, by the way, Winner Joiner, for the follow over on Twitch as well. And then, okay, we have the videos from Gamescom, which is good. Okay. And then we have, like, a studio thing. But we don't really talk about, like, our games specifically. Whereas we used to do that, I would say, a lot more. And, like, making games for me is also the way I learn the most. And I get to make the most meaningful content. Where here, once again, what I've learned about making horror games. How much money did our game make? Like, once again, those are videos directly from Overtime Anomaly. Video idea. 5 lessons from 5 games. Didn't we make that already? I'm pretty sure we made that. Of, like, we've never made a good game or something. Didn't I make this? No way. I have a script for this. I'm pretty sure. At least. Is it in my archive? In my idea box? No. I'm pretty sure I had, like, a video idea of, like, we've never made a good game. Take a look if I can find it, because I sent this to Thomas at some point. Yeah. Back in August. We've never made perfect game. Also, shout out to the White Monster. Let's go. Did we not? Oh yeah, here. Okay, I found it. We made that video. We failed every game we've ever made. I was just blind. And here what we did is indeed, like, for every single game that we did. So Forge Industry was Unknown Unknowns, Unicycle Design was marketing. My virtual friends was like, who the fuck is this game even for? Overtime Anomaly, we didn't play test enough, and Kyoto Anomaly we made in the weird, or like in the wrong genre. So yeah. Yeah, just the title is good. You can put also different lessons in it you didn't do yet. Yeah. So I wanted to make a similar video style to this. As in, like, the games that we didn't make. Why we didn't make those games. Also, did Sasquatch B announce a new game? Or is it still his platformer? I think it's still just his platformer game, right? That was supposed to come out like Searchbound. That was the name.
Give you a full roadmap so that by the
Oh, thank you, by the way, winner joiner, for the Prime sub as well. Search. What's the name of this game? Which is like, yeah, cool, but it's a 2D platformer. And I think like Sasquatch B has definitely retreated and is not really a big part of Game Dev YouTube anymore. You could also do lessons you did well if you don't have that yet in the backlog. I don't think we have those. Yeah. Yeah. I think that is pretty okay. Okay. Yeah, 2D puzzle platformer. Someone needs to watch the tier list. Also, it was not a small scope game because he's been working on it for over a year, I think, at this point. But yeah, I think I was talking about this earlier of like, okay, if MMO98 does well, the question is, okay, this is going to be the worst incremental probably that we ever make, at least from a code and work perspective. Because William is a programmer. And I would say he's a pretty good programmer. Which is like, you know, why incremental games are like such a good genre for most of our audience, because most of ours are programmers. Actually, I want to do a poll right now. Because I recently learned I can do that. Start a poll. Would you identify as a programmer? No, how do I ask this? How would you rate your coding skills? We also just got a hype train. I don't know why. Is the start of a month you should be pushing your prime subs more? I will do that in a second. It's my strongest skill. Meh. I'm horrible at it. One more option. I kind of want to know what the division is, because I think it's going to be very skewed right now into people being like, okay, one person is like horrible. I think a lot of people are going to be like, it's my strongest skill, or like decent-ish. Okay, we have a surprising amount of people who are horrible still at it. But the Bite Me audience, what if I'm horrible at it, but it's my strongest skill? Andre, you have a problem then. I hate to break it to you. Why would start of a month be better for Prime subs? Because they don't auto-renew, I guess. So yeah. I'm a biological programmer. My pronouns are Bybit. So this is like, you know, why incremental games are so good, because you need to have programming first. And if we look at also the progress from Overtime Anomaly to Kyoto Anomaly, we've gotten a lot better at like our code base, and we can make anomaly games, for example, very fast now because we have that code base. So the question is, are we going to have that same skill in making more incremental games? We're like, the next incremental game we make, we're gonna make in half the time, because we have like all of this knowledge already, or he has the knowledge already of how do we connect everything, all of the pieces. So yeah, it seems like programming like is definitely the best thing you can do, basically. Let's do a follow-up poll. Rate your art skills. I'm genuinely good at it. Possible. I don't know. I think I maybe needed a fourth one as well. Hi from the 1% female audience. That's impossible. There's already another woman in here. Earning $1 million by making 1 million incremental games. Okay, so this should kind of, I think, be the opposite Okay, no. So people are still like, okay. Depends on the art. I suck at 2D, but are good, pretty good at 3D. Left no room for non-programmer, but bad at art. That's true as well, baby. So yeah, we have this like very weird balance in the Bite Me audience, I guess is the best way to describe it. Of like why we say like incremental games are good for our audience, because you don't need that much art as well. I feel the third option in my soul. Yeah. I'm painfully below average at everything. Yeah. Many of you are jack of all trade games devs, I think. Yeah. So yeah. I would check how many are non-game devs. Wait. I wanna next one. A game dev. ... Who never knew anything. Published on itch. Option. Published on Steam. Made money on Steam. Or 5,000, let's say. Now we're getting to really know each other. How good is the Bite Me audience? Okay, we have at least one rich person in chat. I mean, rich person, 5,000 is like, okay, I guess. No way you guys are lying. No way that this many people have genuinely made money as well. Mr. Moxon, yes, I'm still here. No way this is correct, because let me... The people who watch live must be the ones who are built different, because if I go... this is gonna be quite some time back, I think. That's maybe the one thing. Here. So... most people are at a few prototypes but never shared them. Okay, the poll is starting to calm down now. 50% has never made any builds public. And then 3% of Bite Me audience has actually made successful games. Now we're up at 20%. And we even increased the bar from $1,000 to $5,000. So... maybe this is just because everyone has been following my advice. The moment you realize you are the only one not making money out of Steam. Poor guy. I've seen the Steam Deep backend. Now noted Steam Sheep socializing. Working at studios counts. Oh, I guess that's another one of like indie dev versus... yeah, this is more of like if you've made your own game as well. Lots of chatting going on in the Bite Me audience. Surprisingly, yeah. Yeah, personal is lower but still decent. Okay, yeah. And that's indeed something I didn't really think about, of like, what if you're part of a bigger company? I only made money in mobile. Okay, at least people made money. Perfect. 25,000 games were published. I think it was less. No, I think it was actually SteamDB. You can see. I think it was only also like just under 20,000. That's debut releases by year. Oh, it was 20,011. It ended up just going over. But yeah, I think it's not 25k just yet. Yeah. Maybe people watching at this time, late night in the US / midday in the EU, are more likely to be full-time self-employed devs. There may be definitely some bias as well. Does selling CSGO skins count as making money on Steam? Not exactly, I would say. So yeah. Have you thought about publishing both Steam and mobile? MO98 can run on mobile. I don't know. Also, the UI is kind of not made for something this small, I guess. I think this may be too small for it. Might try mobile next. Why not? Put up some shovelware with microtransactions, but then you still need to do a lot of stuff. I think it's gonna be, honestly, like, not much worse 2000. Because it's been now 1 month and it's been 1,500 games. So at this rate, we're looking actually at 1,800 games released this year. I think it's gonna flatten a bit. Or maybe even, nah, it's probably not gonna be less. But yeah, when is Maid Simulator not coming out? Not anytime soon, unfortunately, I think. Maybe we should rework that one to an incremental game. Except art is the problem. That's gonna be the problem with most of those games as well. If you publish on address, you need to dox your business address. Yeah, but if you have a Belgian company or a European company, in general, you always need to, like, you can find the Bite Me Games business address pretty easy as well, if you know what to look for. So that's the thing of, like, if you're in Europe, it doesn't really matter. Oh, a message that just disappeared again. I don't know why. Oh, I think top chat versus live chat. Let me check again. MO more AI submissions will definitely inflate statistics. I'm not sure how much, but yeah. Because I think we see it here as well, of like how many games got like the no review. Because the main graph that rose here, actually I can just download this. Download PNG image. You can see like the blue line of like the games with 500 reviews. All of these get basically the exact same. The only thing that rose up, because these two lines are at the same level, is like the 1 to 9 reviews and the no reviews. So the genuine schlop only grew up. Gilmohar, why you take a nap? Go to sleep and take an actual like rest for once. So I think it's gonna be okay. What about this poll? Worked or working as a day job as an engineer versus hobby? I'm not sure if it's the best question, but yeah. Alba, I should be working. That's the move as well. Procrastinating. But also just procrastinating game development. Yeah. Let's MD, are you still here? No, it wasn't MD who always said it. I'm sorry. Hi, if you are still here, how's your day going? I'm gonna log in. Give me a second. Because it is time to shout out. Shout out that daddy needs money. That's what it's gonna come down to. Oh, what's my password? Give me a second, guys. I need to do 2-factor authentication. Because that's how life works. I was confusing you with another regular MD. Okay, so if you want to support Bite Me, but you don't like giving us money, absolutely fair. But you like giving Jeff Bezos money, you can subscribe to us for free by linking your Amazon account with your Twitch account. And then if you go to like the subscribe thing, you have a checkbox here that says use Prime Sub. And this is free for 1 month. Oh, perfect. The Streamlabs message knew exactly what I was talking about. And then, yeah, you can just subscribe with Prime. And I think then I can show me. And then I can show my 1 month streak and be like, Bite Me. shouldn't go bankrupt. Let's go. And then you can see here, Marnix2000 just resubbed for 10 months. But we shouldn't go bankrupt. So I can say thank you. So shout out King Bit Patrick for the Prime sub as well. Doesn't cost you anything and gives us like a buck or two from Jeff Bezos' wallet. So thank you very much for those that do want to support us, that can support us, because you probably have an Amazon Prime account. I should make this more in the US time zone, I guess. Oh, Uzabi, you're here as well. You've just been lurking in chat, I guess. Thank you very much for the Prime sub as well. Poch. So yeah. I think thanks for that, guys. I just joined. You joined at the time I did the ad. Perfect. I like this poll. Shout out Octara. You made over 5k. You released on Steam. You released on H. You people are releasing games. Where in the picture are you? Don't use Twitch, but did join Patreon membership for you lads yesterday. Thank you very much, Simtem. I did see that message come in. So you're the one. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Since we're just kind of like fucking around now, I think. Where is my Twitch stream thing here? No, Twitch. Let's actually take a look again. Why is this thing broken? Okay. You 1 second, don't worry. Insane how many game devs don't use version control. How is my Nihongo? It's my wife is not here, so she cannot. Oh, holy shit! Thank you very much, Igusi, for the 10 gifted subs as well. And we have enough people watching, so they actually all get the Prime subs as well. Thank you very much for that. I'm on the 5th battle saying, you people have had ideas. My Japanese is like... It's not great. No, actually, like... It's not horrible. But it's also like... I should study more is what it comes down to. But I have like... I should also make money and work on games. I was like walking to like the train station a few evenings ago to like go and pick up my wife. Because she was gonna get home soon. And then like some absolutely completely drunk Japanese guy just like flagged me down and just wanted to go drinking with me, and I had to pull out like my best Japanese for it. I can like survive, but it's pretty bad in terms of speaking and like learning. I can read without problem. Without problem is a big word, but I can read pretty okay. So yeah. Is there a reason you don't have YouTube memberships turned on? We actually used to have them turned on, but I kind of don't want people to use it and instead go and use like something like Ko-fi, because YouTube memberships take 30%. Like the amount of money we take home from YouTube memberships is just so little that it's not worth it. I think we were earning like 10 euros a month from YouTube memberships, where it wasn't really a free money button at all. Why am I in Japan again? Because my wife lives here and I live with my wife. So yeah. Yeah, 飲むできない。ありがとうございます。Yeah, 飲みません. So yeah, not gonna lie, you have bigger problems in learning Japanese right now. Yeah, kind of. And like, I don't have as much of a need right now because I don't use it in like my day-to-day life of like working as much. Like I know enough to like survive day-to-day life without problem. I cannot go and work at a company right now, but I'm lucky that I don't need to work at a company right now. So that's kind of the benefit. Yeah. I want to try out another thing because I actually have no idea how this works. I can start a Q&A. Ask me your questions. How does this work? Is my next question. Okay, so now we have a Q&A. Does it just show up in here? Okay, I'm just gonna let this roll for a little bit and see if anyone... Okay, so you didn't use the Q&A feature of why not Unreal, but I can answer it. How does this work? What should I ask? Nobody knows anything. I don't get it either. How does this like look on your end? I actually want to check. Can I see? It's like the viewer's experience. No, I can end Q&A. Wait, let me... We're learning stuff together. YouTube gave me like a bunch of new features because I'm like part of their stream accelerator program or something. Seems like I need to sign in. I can't even see that I'm doing a Q&A. Is it just like a second chat? Okay. How does this work? Why not Unreal? Because we come from a C# programming background. I think I can put this big again. We have an ask something button instead of ending it. Ah, I see. So, why not Unreal? Because Unreal is a engine that we just weren't as familiar with. One of our developers that already gotten like 5 years or something of like hobbyist experience with Unity. All of us knew C# as well, so it just didn't make sense to switch to Unreal when we wanted to just get started. Are you going to sell courses to these idiots? And do you offer courses on Udemy? The answer is no, we don't have any courses on Udemy. And at some point, maybe I want to do some courses on trailer stuff, and that's it. Is this the year for the Bite Me game dev course, since you guys are a $100,000 studio? Like I said, if I do a course, I want to make a course on trailer editing. Specifically for people who don't like editing, basically. How do you stay motivated? I've been committed to a game alone at home for a few months now, and it's so lonely and monotone. It's miserable if you're solo. That's the problem. As in, like, how do you stay committed? That's kind of what, like, having some sort of, like, a playtest or an Azure.io build helps with as well. Because at least you know someone else is playing your game. Someone else is interested in your game. Which makes it a little bit easier to keep going. Also, you join the Bite Me Games Discord and you talk to people in there, and you're going to be less lonely. I think the Bite Me Discord is genuinely a pretty good place to be in. Uzabi, if you had 100,000 wishlists, would you still sign up with a publisher and give up 30% XD? What would you hope to get from a publisher at that point? Console porting? But the problem is you can probably console porting without them, although they would do the platform management and things like that for you. Maybe mobile porting in the case of you, but maybe something you want to do yourself as well. Letting them do the bigger events of like your OT game show and whatever would maybe be one. Yeah, money if you want money. That's probably something else as well. Mainly looking for funding and guidance. Yeah. Wait, I don't even know if you use Godot or Unity. We use Unity. We used Unity earlier as well. So yeah, do you think the pressure of needing a game to do well hinders your creativity and critical thinking? If so, how do you deal with it? I think my creativity, not that much. I think the pressure still helps. I don't want a blank canvas of like being able to do whatever I want. I think it does help with having like deadlines, and I'm way happier being able to actually ship games than be stuck on like eternal ideas, basically. So I think it's a healthy amount of pressure. Is it a hassle to live in a different country and have a studio in Belgium? I live in China and would want my company in Belgium when I start releasing my games because, well, I need a tax number. It's a hassle for taxes if your country doesn't have a tax treaty. Japan and Belgium have a tax treaty. I'm not sure about China and Japan. China and Belgium. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they don't, you're gonna have to deal with like being double taxed and all of that. So yeah. Vinicius Hoyer. I made a game for the Typing Fest. I'm got a shitty demo right now. Would you rush to release the demo for the fest or just hold it until you get a good demo? I think Typing Fest isn't going to be that big. I would just do the fest with the store page only. And then maybe give some effort if you can into making like a better trailer and keep it at that. I'm going to be honest, I think the Typing Fest is also not going to be that big. Wait, let me see here. Typing Fest, because the Typing Fest is also only 4 days. Steam changed it. This is the first time that they're doing events for less than a week. Like the Hidden Object Festival as well is like, I think, a minor festival. As in, like, it's also only 4 days. Don't feel pressured for the Typing Fest, I think, because it's just a smaller festival, I think, at the end of the day. Okay. Do you use different programs for VFX? I've never done VFX development in my life. What's your most and least favorite thing about Godot? My most favorite thing about Godot is how it just shits itself when trying to screen record it in OBS. And that's it. I don't have a least favorite thing. I just like hating on the engine for the love of the game. But I don't actually have anything against the engine. Do you think Kinopio is better than Milanote for game dev? I've used Milanote for a grand total of 2 days, and then I'm like, yeah, this is not worth it. And I've never heard of Kinopio before. Imagine you have a mildly successful game, MMO98 for example, or Unicycle Pizza Time. How would you decide if you want to continue working on an update after launch? I think it makes sense if the earnings keep making sense, and if I feel like the update also the update would drive like enough new traffic and would be big enough to also have a meaningful like impact in terms like, oh, can we do another content creator outreach round for this? So we're doing this now for Unicycle Pizza Time, where that game is what I would say moderately successful at like almost $30,000 in gross lifetime revenue at this point. And we're very slowly, not too hardcore, working on making a new level for it. We actually live stream development for that. And that is something that when we get that ready, we can do another influencer outreach. The game is still earning us money now, so we know like, hey, if we do this, it's probably going to pay back, like the effort we put into it. And then we're trying to combine it also with showcasing at Bit Summit. So I think then it makes sense on working on updates after launch. But I think you just need to realize if the game doesn't make that much money, there's like, at some point there is a number. I don't know the exact number, but there is a number where it's better to just start on something new, where you have a potential 100x upside of like, this game may be the $1 million game, compared to working on the game that is like, I can keep putting development effort into it, and it's gonna give me like $1,000 a month or something. At some point, that number is going to not make sense to take the risk almost and start developing on that new game. And sure, maybe you're going to neglect the old game a bit, but as long as it's in a decent state when you release it. Like, that's why I don't want to do like early access, because you don't want to have that commitment basically. And then I think keep working on that upside, because you're only going to be making better games most likely as well, compared to trying to fix a game that's already out as well. How to prioritize a small game for a tough deadline? What does that mean? You just have the deadline and you make it work. That's what we did for Unicycle Pizza Time. The deadline for that game was August 31st, because on September 2nd we were taking a flight with the entire team to Japan, and nobody of us wanted to do development while we were in Japan. So we just had to release it. And that's it. I was recently told executing under pressure is different from inventing under pressure. Considering your answer to my previous question, do you not agree with that? Is it different? Yeah. Because you're doing two different things. But I think both things can be done well still under pressure. From experience of releasing games quickly, how much does the Steam algorithm impact game sales? The 10 review mark and discovery queue is giant. Basically. What would your advice be for finding someone to partner with / work with for game dev? How to handle payments through rev share or flat fees or whatever? It's fucked. Sure, how I would do it? You need an enormous amount of trust with the other person. And I think anything of like revenue share and whatever is always gonna fall flat. I think you need to accept that everyone needs to have a solo dev period when they get started. So that's what I usually say of like, release a game, have it, and if you can release a moderately successful game, you'll notice that like there's like people in the game dev world who will like, doors will open for you. And then you kind of both have that vibe check of like both people have proven that, hey, I can ship a game and I'm a serious person. And I think you just go from there, basically. Are you tempted to make something for Trainfest in July? I'm not. I'm not that good at trains. Thoughts about partial localization? Maybe only UI localization start on less prominent locales. $1,600 for just one language? One single? I don't know what kind of game you're making, Roland. But I think it may just not be worth it on launch to have the localization. I think what you would do then is just do a visibility round if the game is actually big enough and it makes sense in a specific language. If you're making a visual novel in English or like a very narrative-based game, and then localizing it later to Japanese is something you can do. I know a few developers who did that, and then they actually like, part of that like announcement was kind of to go to Bit Summit here in Japan and then like announce it that way, basically. Okay, let's end the Q&A. Now I know how the Q&A works. It's actually miserable because I cannot see chat anymore. So now I need to go back to chat as well. Wait until launch visibility is over, then do update with new visibility around and sale. Yeah, sale, do discounts as much as you can. It's always the best thing to do. What's the lore about why did the entire studio move to Japan? Back then it was just a vacation, basically. As in, like, we all moved to Japan for 2 months. And then Thomas also went because he was like, yeah, I'm gonna probably have a girlfriend or something by this time next year, and she's not going to let me go to Japan for 2 months. So I should go now. And 3 months later, he had a girlfriend. And he's not going to Japan anymore now. So he was very happy with it. Living in Japan must be nice. I mean, it is honestly for me very nice, but it's also because I don't work in Japan. Not really. I don't work for a Japanese company. So I think I have a lot of the benefits. I get paid in euro as well, which is also a very good benefit. Because right now, the euro to yen conversion rate is very solid as well. So this is over the last year. It like went up like 10%, over 10%. But I think being in Japan, working in a Japanese company, it's a different story. Because also Japanese wages are not as high. So yeah. Yeah, I tried agreeing to a ref share with strangers, but always did fall flat in it. Yeah, because it's just hard. Yeah, I think Breno was a good one indeed, of like being a game that puts out low effort YouTube as a way of proving skills and documenting efforts. Because with Breno, let's pull him up. I think he's probably asleep by now, but he popped in yesterday. Breno Dev. Now, this is a guy, he makes the most beautiful. This is honestly absolute cinema, how like his setup is always like. Often he has like, you know, his clothes is just drying rack in the back as well. I love it. Where like he makes videos like that are very low effort of like just him talking about like game dev related stuff, and then also about like his own game progress basically. And I think it is a very good way to still show like, hey, I keep working on things, and like I'm a serious guy. Trust me on this one, basically. So yeah. How do you guys do localization? Mainly with AI, but our localization is also doable with like the pre-made sheets and all of that, because of our games being mostly simple UI. We're not doing like complex dialogue and emotion, because I think then you're kind of fucked. I don't know if you saw the video. We made a video pretty recently about localization. Video hosts. They are listing the best languages to localize your game into. This may be worth it for you to take a look in as well. So yeah. Yeah, you can get a lot of benefits from YouTube if you have like 1,000 subscribers or something. Indeed, like playtesters, for example. Are we in danger because of Genie 3? No, I don't think so. I think if you're anything of a competent game developer, you know that Genie 3 right now is not much going to be a those issue. How much do you need to make to live in Japan in dollars? It depends on your quality of life. If you're a solo guy, like assuming you have a visa, because the visa is honestly the hardest part of living in Japan. 1,000. I think you can survive miserably with $1,000 a month. Somewhat okayish with 1,500, 2,000 bucks a month. I think 2,000 bucks is already pretty comfortable. Because we're with 2 people, and our average cost, including like rent and everything, and then what we spend in a month is about 150,000 yen, which is like 800 euros or something. And that is with like rent for this apartment. We're not in a city though, so our rent is a lot cheaper. But you can do it, I would say. Way cheaper than like Europe or America. Is it like a country like Bali or like Philippines or whatever? No, I think also not like that. Also the visa, like I said, is just not good enough. So yeah. Try to make a game with no text at all. That's what MD is doing. It's coming out soon. End of hexes. Yeah, so here, see all 103 supported languages? Because this game has no UI. No words, no text. There is nothing to localize here. The only thing is like numbers. But every card like explains itself with like little drawings and things like that. Definitely a struggle though to make this style of game as well. It's not that easy. But yeah, it's a very cute and like specific art style as well. It's always better to live in a smaller town, at least not in a big city, for lots less money. Yeah. So yeah. I think okay. I think I'm gonna leave it at this somewhat soon. Because it's been 2 hours. I try to go for around 2 hours, especially if it's just talking, because my throat is starting to suffer. I can hear as well. But I think it's been overall a pretty good stream. I'm just so happy that we got the fucking gnome to work. I'm gonna stare at this in joy as well. Guys, Japan is less expensive than Belgium, right? Like, so much less expensive. Like, half price compared to Belgium right now. With, like, the conversion rate as well. It is very nice. I shouldn't say it too loudly because my wife hates it when I say, like, oh, Belgium is like, everything here is so cheap compared to Belgium. But yeah. It definitely looks like it belongs there. Yeah, because actually, there was something else supposed to be here. If I go to my UI. Statistics, content. Let's disable Norman. And let's open the stock tracker. There was supposed to be a stock tracker here. But I don't know. I like the gnome in this place instead as well. So maybe Norman is gonna stay here. I'm not 100% sure on it yet. We're gonna look into that. But I think definitely big W. Shout out once again to SupaVZ for the help with the 3D modeling earlier. But yeah, some guy walking around an environment with 0 interaction, 0 game mechanics for at most 60 seconds at 24 FPS. So yeah. Move the tracker before the gnome. I don't know. The thing with the stock market tracker is that I'm not sure we want to keep it. It was one of those like ideas we had of like, oh, we can do this with the game.
New 5 donation from Gulmoha. Since 2026 is the year without cancellations, is hard carry going to reworked with a new form or smaller scope?
Thank you very much, Gilmahar, for the €5 donation. Is hard carry going to be reworked with a new form or small scope? I think I would want to remake it. I don't think smaller scope even. I think we just need to start with a completely from zero, fresh new approach in terms of how we're going to do the movement mechanics. There was another like Friend Slop Rage game that was announced pretty recently. Game rolling lock. No way I'm gonna find it. Here, this one. That kind of went pretty viral, I would say. I think the biggest issue I have with this, or I don't know the biggest issue I have with this. This is a finding. This is also just a very like in your face. How did nobody think about this streamer game? I think the biggest problem is just getting the physics in multiplayer to work, and maybe going all the way back to the drawing board and just re-implementing that. I still believe in hard carry. I want to bring it back because I think it is going to be a really solid game if it comes out. But I don't know when it's going to be, is what it comes down to. I still want to make hard carry. I just don't know if right now is the point in it. Sorry, I meant rather move the tracker than the gnome. Oh, move the tracker like in front of the gnome. Yeah, we can do it. What's hard carry? Hard carry was a game prototype. Or it was a game that was... It got further than a prototype. I have some gameplay footage of it. It's going to be the easiest. Reusables. Oh, it stops the Skyrim music because it's Windows Media Player. So hard carry was a game. Why does it not want to play? So hard carry was a game where you control a guy at the front and the back with stretchers, and you have like WASD is the front, and then the arrow keys is like the back or like opposite. As you can see, though, we were running into a lot of issues with the network syncing of the physics object, because doing the ragdolls and physics over the network, we just couldn't get this working well, and that's kind of the issue of like. I think the game world still looks very good and the concept can still work. Reminds me of that glass carrying game. Yeah, so glass carry game is a little bit different. Someone is working on a hard carry like with two men rolling a giant woodstock. Do you mean this game, Fabian, that we just looked at, or something else? Yeah. It's not like the game where you carry a plane of glass either. The game it's actually inspired by is a game that's released around the same time as Unicycle Pizza Time. Stretcher Man, but it has some pretty big flaws because it is at 49%. There's a game with an egg. Yeah, so this game got announced after we started also developing on hard carry, and this was kind of the thing as well. Like we looked at this. This is a very similar gameplay mechanic. And we looked at this and we're like, we cannot compete with this in the current state of our game. And that was kind of part of the reason why we were also like, yeah, maybe we need to leave it for now. Because the problem the benefit these guys have is, because they go for ducks, or like, I don't know what is actually the bird, geese, they can do more verticality. And what they do as well is they fake their physics entirely. We didn't really fake our physics. We had real physics. Whereas here, I'm pretty sure it's not actually a physics object until at some point they just decide, like in code, of like, okay, now it's going to just fly up straight in the air. And I think that makes part of their networking easier. But yeah, they've been doing very good in terms of wish lists and all of that. Game with an egg. Yeah. Yeah, fake the physics on the dude, implement it, indeed. But that's the thing of like, we need to go back to the drawing board of how exactly we do it. Yeah, we were using netcode for game objects. Basically what you just said about the egg. Yeah, but that would once again mean we just have to go all the way back and go to the drawing hard carry and just re-implement it from zero. And we were kind of burnt out on it because we had just spent so much time on it already. So yeah, it's kind of the thing there. Uh, have you tried Photon Fusion? I think Peak uses Photon Fusion. Yeah. The problem is I just can't seem to make the money make sense. I think that's kind of the problem. Also, like Paddle uses it. But the problem is like, okay, 500 CCU. Let's just look at Paddle. Or no, let's look at Extremely Hard Game. They have a demo, right? Take a look at their demo. Do we have some charts here? So they had an all-time peak of 212 for their demo. So that would mean already they're paying the $125 for their games. And that was just for their demo. The problem is they're paying that monthly. Like now, in the last month, it seems like their peak is always at around 60, like under 100. So they're not paying anything right now. But like, I don't think they are using Photon Fusion. I'm just using them for like numbers. Paddle is using Photon Fusion. Oh, the all-time peak is only 400. I expected it to be more. But yeah, these guys are still playing $95. Oh, one time for 1 month? Okay. That's better pricing. So it only gets very expensive once you go over 500 concurrent users, basically. Because if it's $95 for 1 year, but the moment you go over the 100 concurrent users, you have a problem and you need to pay more. And that's kind of the thing that I don't really like. Or you could do this, where minimum fee per month, $1,000. We're not doing that. But yeah, I think Photon, because at the end of the day, like a Paddle, sure, he sells a lot of copies. But you're selling rage games usually. Yeah. But you sell, I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe it could make sense. Maybe I'm just like overthinking it and it's not as expensive as we think. I just don't like the idea of having to pay for something eternally. Like we pay the subscription for something that someone else pays the one-time thing for. And then having to price that into our pricing as well is, I think, a big risk, because I think I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, we have to shut down these servers or find something else as well. It's a luxury problem if you go over limit. Yeah, except you still need to support the luxury problem for the end of time. Whereas now we use Steam networking for Unicycle Pizza Time. It's like, we don't need to deal with this. I don't care. We don't get the invoices or whatever. I think like Unicycle Pizza Time definitely is not. I think we peaked at like 79, 89. Yeah. So like we would be fine. But yeah. It's just something that's like, I think we can. Yeah, you're still paying 10 years later, shutting the servers down. If you have more than 100 CCU, the thing is also like, once again, they could pull a Unity. They can be like, hey guys, our network infrastructure is getting more expensive. We are getting rid of our free plan. And you have no idea if you're gonna be grandfathered into the project, or if it's just, oh, you have to pay up now. And that's kind of why I'm like, these games work perfectly fine with regular peer-to-peer networking. So let's just make those work instead. Can't you start off with peer-to-peer? Changing your network model through development is not as easy as just swapping it, basically. Yeah, we used Unity netcode and Steam networking for everything. That's why I only make single-player games, lol. Yeah, that's like the thing. The easy thing would just be remaking... what's it called? remaking hard carry as a single player game. It doesn't make sense. Peer-to-peer exposes user IPs. If it's a peer-to-peer game that you do with a buddy of yours, it doesn't matter. Because it's like, yeah, sure, cool. But yeah, if you're doing anything competitive, then it's a different story. You can't do peer-to-peer. It's a server for a particular occasion, or I'm actually not sure. I think they had different pricing for their traffic. If you want additional like traffic data, you pay more for like Asia, Australia, whatever. But I think there's other solutions we can do. So yeah. I think I want to revisit it 100% this year still. But not yet. Probably when we're more comfortable again. And we'll go from there. AC Independence, yeah. Anyways, guys, I want to say thank you very much for having joined the stream. I think it's been a good stream. I think, once again, the Gnome was the win of the day. Was the turn commas game? Just wait a little bit longer. And so, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for having tuned in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!